What's up, everyone? This is the BumCast. I am your host, HBAC, the head bum in charge, along with Baloney, the Southside bum, and no Dougie Freshness today. He, for the first time ever, put in his PTO request. He did it
Yeah.
in a timely
And you approved it.
and I approved it. It was a timely, correct manner. Like there was no unauthorized, no call, no show. So yeah, congrats. It only took 2 years, but Dougie finally submitted a PTO request. So um, happy that I don't have to yell tonight.
You're gonna yell for other reasons. I almost guarantee that, but you don't have to yell at Dougie, which is good.
Yeah. Yep. Johnny, how you feeling?
Tired.
Yes,
Very
we all
tired. And we were just talking about before the show, it like the time change. I mean, I think it's messed up a lot of like people's, it's getting it's 5 o'clock and it's already getting dark, or 4 o'clock, it's already getting dark. It was nice to have that hour sleep back, but man, I'm just tired. I'll make the adjustments. It'll be adjustments made.
Yeah, I think now that it's daylight saving, we need to get like a Monster Energy Red Bull sort of sponsorship. And
I'm on fumes tonight, guys. Like it was a long weekend. And I'm hopefully this is the last time I have to be in a podcast in glasses.
I don't know. I think now that I'm getting used to it, Jay, I was gonna say it when you wore them on the Bums Happy Hour on Friday. It's kind of giving like a little Zaddy vibes.
Get the whole full great beard going now.
Like fill out the beard a little bit and get like a couple 2-3 pairs of glasses. It might be a new look for you.
Get jacked up a little bit,
I don't know about all that.
The Johnny workout plan.
All right, maybe not. Missy says, "Dear God."
What if that was a good dear God?
Ah, that's true. It could be a good dear God.
No, she says stop this right
Nope.
distance.
Definitely.
Never mind.
She made it clear. Hey, we're all wearing glasses.
Consider that a compliment from me then, Jason.
Thank you, Peter. I appreciate that. So Peter, you had on Friday we celebrated your birthday, so happy again birthday. Did you have a good weekend celebrating?
It was good. It was nice, low key. Would have liked a Bears win for my birthday, but just didn't came to be. But yeah, I appreciate everyone reached out. I try to get to everybody on Twitter and Instagram. I realized like Saturday night that I had like 76 people on Facebook that messaged me. I'm not responding back to those. I'm sorry to anybody that's texted me or messaged me on Facebook. I'm just so out of Facebook that I'm like, I'm never going to catch up. So
were they Facebook messages or wall posts?
Yeah, like timeline posts or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe I'm just going to have to put a generic thank you to everyone that wished me a happy birthday.
Yeah,
I'm not on Facebook anymore. But it's a lot of tias and cousins and people that I don't necessarily communicate with all that much. I mean, people that text, of course, I text back right away, or some people phone called and all that stuff. But yeah, I think I'm out of the Facebook game.
Yeah,
I don't go there too much either.
I can understand too if you were just getting like Facebook like DMs. Like nobody uses Messenger.
I never use Messenger.
It's the most pointless app ever.
Every so often I look and I'm like, oh, I got notifications on here, and they're like 2 weeks old. So I'm like,
yeah. So, but yesterday we had our watch party at Jack's place, and it was a double feature, double header. It was the Bears, that's bad. It was the Blackhawks, that's good. But Bears game was pretty bad. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But at least the Hawks got the dub. We busted out our Blackhawks drinking rules, and we had a tequila flowing last night, so that's probably why we're hurting a bit.
That Blackhawks game saved us so bad because, like you mentioned, we will talk Bears, but in just talking general terms, we didn't cheer for 3.5 hours. That Jack's place felt like a morgue. People were just sitting down. I mean, we were enjoying each other's company, but it was the saddest watch party I've ever been to. And we've had some sad watch parties. Unfortunately, we've had some bad teams in Chicago. So we've been a part of some sad ass watch parties. This one was the worst. But as soon as puck dropped, the vibes changed. I think we had some music going along with the Blackhawks game. You know, thank God for the Blackhawks.
Yeah, and shout out to Peter. You brought in all the bootlegs to get that game going.
I was sitting there. Shout out my buddy White Boy Rick. He showed up for a little bit. I was talking to him about this is an ongoing thing, obviously, because of CHSN and their fight with all the cable companies. Barstool Chief was on Twitter talking to he had the same problem. He wanted to do like some sort of watch party, but a lot of bars can't even air the games. So Jack's Place, shout out Jack's Place. They have Comcast. They've been Comcast customers for a long time. And he's like, I'm not going to switch to DirecTV. Like anytime there's a storm or like rain or snow, that shit gets bad too. So it's like, I'd rather have Comcast, but like the longer this drags out, like they just don't air Blackhawks games at bars. So I brought what some people consider antennas. They may or may not have been antennas. They might have been some other measures to watch the game. No, they were antennas. So it was all legal.
It was antennas.
But I'm starting to think maybe we could do this as a business. We show up to different bars in different locations with a trunk full of antennas, and we bring the Blackhawks to you.
Hey, now we're talking. That's a blowy. Fuck you and your good ideas. See,
right?
Now
we're just like a traveling hockey show, and it's like we don't even have to talk hockey. We just show it on TVs because you can't see it otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
The craziest thing about yesterday too. Obviously, we had like a marathon. Drinking. Me and you got there a little around 2:30. A couple people were there before us, so we went for a good. Want to say what 7 hours ish?
Yeah, I would say 2:30 to 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
we were home by 10:15.
Almost 8 hours. So we promoted that there was the taco cart, the taco truck was coming out there. So and shout out to Tone Capone, like that was really, the tacos were good. But then later on, we were like, people were whispering about a hot dog lady, and there's a hot dog cart coming up, and I was like, we're all like, what? And at that point, it was like 9 o'clock, and it was like, where's the hot dogs? Where's the hot dogs at? And then all of a sudden, you look behind it, and there's this big giant cart in the corner of the bar by the back entrance, and just a hot dog lady, and it was like, it's like you see like.
Early MVP, MVP, the hot dog lady that showed up and saved everyone. I know Aaron is going to talk about her on the listener MVBs. She was like a bottled water in the desert. It was like people were like, oh my God, like life saving. And they were good hot dogs. Yeah. Awesome hot dogs.
Yeah. So the fact that too is like, we just thought they were going to be okay, Chicago style hot dogs, whatever. And she got this whole menu board of like different hot dogs you can do. You can do chili cheese, Chicago style, grilled onion, all that stuff. And it was like, okay, cool. Then she had like Mighty Dog and like the mother-in-law and the father-in-law, and we're like, what the fuck? What the fuck's a Mighty Dog? And she's like, well, I take a tamale and I split it open and I put the hot dog in it and I top it with chili cheese and all the other Chicago style toppings. And I'm like, say no more, fam. Give me that motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
And like people were asking how was it? I'm like, it was disgustingly good. It was a chili cheese hot dog Chicago tamale. I don't know how else to explain it. It somehow worked. And that thing again probably saved my life as well, because the tequila at that point, we were 3 tequila shots in, and as soon as I finished the hot dog, they scored again, and I was like, "There's no if I do a shot of tequila right now after downing this hot dog, I'm gonna be like last Saturday and probably pop out my cuticles again." Or capillaries, not cuticles. Cuticles are these things.
That would be a horror story.
That would be a horror story. But we did our victory shot, and just good times all around. So thanks to Jack's Place for
Jack's Place. Obviously, always gracious hosts. They've been hosting us for a while now, and they're the best, presenting sponsors of the happy hour on Fridays. I just looked it up because I wanted to make sure we got it right. It was Fat Johnny's daughter. So she is the hot dog lady. And she does like events, watch parties. She says like birthdays or anything like that. It was awesome. I think it's it seems like a simple concept, but it was awesome. Oh, like hell yeah.
All right, before we get to headlines here, I got an announcement to make. It's a personal announcement. I was given permission from the wife to announce it. I have officially taken the plunge. I'm gonna get snipped.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. We've talked about this privately as like a group for a while now. Are we doing it? Are we making it content? Because I'm right there with you.
Oh.
We hold hands. Julie will be happy.
Yeah,
vasectomy buddies.
We might have, just like in, we'll pose for the picture, like in Step Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have decided to get the snippity snip. And you remember what we talked about when we went to go see Zane Lamprey, Peter?
Yes.
It's coming home soon.
Wait, are you at liberty to say what we're talking about?
You don't remember the
I might not, dude. I barely remember what happened yesterday. I got notes.
I am so confused right now.
I'm not gonna remember what we talked about 2 months ago.
You know how when women give birth they get the push present?
Oh yeah, you're getting a snip present, but I don't remember what was the snip present.
Jurassic Park pinball, baby.
Oh, hell yeah. This is a great deal, Jason. This is a fantastic. You're coming out. This is like the Herschel Walker trade all over again. You get snipped, you get a weekend off of watching sports and having like an ice pack on your junk. And then at the end of the day, you get the Jurassic Park pinball machine. This is win-win-win for you. This is great. I love that.
Yeah. Yes. I'm going to try to make sure I pick it up before they sell out at Costco, because if people shop at Costco, you've probably seen they have it there. It's the home version. It looks fucking awesome. It's going to go great in the basement. I seriously, I told Sarah, I was like, I really want that fucking pinball. And she immediately said, you get snipped, you can have it. I was like,
unbelievable. I'm proud of you, my man. This is awesome. How much do they cost? I don't know if Missy's asking about the vasectomy or the pinball machine. They're probably similar in price, if we're really being honest.
I mean, insurance covers a vasectomy.
Right. Yeah, insurance covers it, but
yes. Aaron, are you seriously getting Jurassic Park pinball for getting a vasectomy? Yes, that is the deal. Because it's time for me to step up and do my part.
Oh, Johnny, you looking for that golden tea machine? Maybe a dartboard? You and Missy were playing darts at Jack's place. It seemed like a good time.
I was not playing darts whatsoever with anybody. But I do have a dartboard. I still got my old dartboard from when we used to live together. So I still have that. So I probably would bring that. I don't know where I would put it in the apartment, though.
I was going to say maybe upgrade it to the stand-up cabinet version that Jack's place had. I'm just saying.
That's possible.
Julie's saying I will not be getting a present, but that's okay. I'll come over and play pinball at Jason's house. Like we're kids. Can I come over and play?
Yes. And Julia, you're a dinosaur Jurassic Park fan, so yes, you can come over anytime and play some peep 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 peep. And then the T-Rex comes out.
Is not what your boys are going to be doing after that snip.
No.
Yeah, you're gonna have no peep 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 peep.
No, Beef says all this sounds totally insane. It does, but you know what? I'm gonna have a pinball machine.
Sarah's saying, hear me out. He started talking about this pinball machine, and I knew he'd find a way. I saw my opportunity and took it. This is great on you too, Sarah. This is amazing. I'm telling you, it's win-win all around.
Yeah.
So now
So-
we gotta let's schedule it. We'll do it for content. Dougie's not here to agree on it, but we're doing it. Team vasectomies.
I'm not doing
Johnny-
this. No, fuck
Johnny-
you guys.
All right. Well, no, hold on. We need a cameraman. So
I'm not gonna. No, I don't want to be a part of this. Like,
what do you mean?
I'm out. Okay,
Somebody's
got
got to film.
No, you can film him. I don't want to be a part of this. No.
All right. Anyway, it's proud of you, Jay. I'm in. Congrats to you and Sarah.
Yeah, you know what? And then, like, the only thing I'm wondering is like, do I have to fully like shave it, wax? Like, what? I don't know what the procedure is there. If you have to be like newborn baby under there when the time comes, like, I can't imagine that's gonna be fun.
Are you saying you're not grooming that on the reg nowadays?
But it's not like I'm taking a fucking razor.
You got like you got a rainforest cafe down there?
No, not at all. But sometimes you have when you're on your boys, you got to be a little extra cautious that you don't actually go like full contact on the skin. Otherwise, you're gonna have a bleeder. We got a bleeder over here. So you try to hover, right? You don't go skin the. You don't go razor to skin. You hover it. And you get. Yeah, so I don't know what the rule is on that. If I have to,
I'm gonna clip this. We're gonna film for content. We might as well get sponsored by Manscaped. Those motherfuckers sponsor every podcast under the sun. So maybe we do a couple 2-3 Manscaped ads before the vasectomy, and then we're good.
So TBD on the scheduling. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go with the first one I know of. That's the Chicago vasectomy clinics, because
the Waddle and Sylvie ones.
Yeah, they advertise on Waddle and Sylvie all the time. Like, that one seems to be the most reputable, I guess. Like, I mean, Sports Talk Radio's not going to lie to me, right? They're not going to air some bogus ads, right?
Yeah, if anything goes wrong, we could bum of the week Waddle and Sylvie.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So I'm gonna look into the Chicago vasectomy clinics, but we just agreed to it the other day. And I wanted to make sure that this pinball machine is still in stock before the holiday season.
Part of this whole situation.
Yeah, I'm afraid I have to make sure that I get this and I don't get snipped and lose out on the pinball machine.
So that's it. All right. So question for you. The holidays, like you mentioned, are coming up. I'm sure people are going to be buying gifts. If that pinball machine gets sold out, do you have a plan B in mind? Or is it just pinball or bust?
This was Sarah threw it out there and I immediately jumped in it, not thinking of a plan B, not thinking, like I might have to drive a while to go get a pit. But Peter, you might have to bring your pickup truck and we might have to go pinball.
See, yeah, that's the perks of having a friend with a truck. I'm gonna be the one hauling this thing, like we did the what is it? The
treadmill
your treadmill.
Treadmill, but the shuffleboard table.
The shuffleboard, yeah, that freaking shuffleboard thing was like 16 feet long.
Yeah. So my wife goes that I tried talking to her before the procedure. That's purely before it doesn't sell out. I don't know when I'm going to be able to get into the clinic. If they say it's like mid-December or something, and that pinball machine sold out, I need like layaway on it or something.
So here's the deal. Layaway? I don't know, man.
Still got layaways?
You're gonna buy your pinball machine like Rent-A-Center style.
I might have to.
I was gonna say buy it, but the rule would be you can't assemble it until you get the procedure done. So that way you don't lose out on it, but you can't play until you're healed. So that's a little bit of both.
Good compromise. Good compromise there. I like the way you're thinking about that. So, all right. So we'll Bum's vasectomy will be coming down the path.
Stay tuned for that content. If that doesn't get us to 1,000 subscribers, I don't know what will.
You probably lose subscribers.
Yeah, we go back down. Fuck.
We can put the title Jason's nutsack.
All right, let's get to some headlines here before we talk some Bears. Peter, what do you got for the first one for us?
All right, first one. I mean, we've been very Bears heavy, but the White Sox hired their guy, Will Venable, the new head coach of the White Sox. And good, I guess. Like, I want to get your guys' take on it. I think like there are much better podcasts to listen to real insight on Will Venable. But initially, it just shocked me that like the assumed favorite or the presumed favorite for a lot of people was Will Venable, and they just flat out got him. I was like, holy shit. I was like, whoa, good. I'll take any small win. And this seems like a small win, regardless of how bad the roster is going to be next year.
It seemed like he was one of the most sought after candidates. Chris Getz targeted him. He got him. He was coming. I think it was what the Marlins wanted him to. So, hey, I guess you have, if your choices are either Miami or Chicago. I mean, Chicago's probably, that's. I mean, team wise, I don't know, but maybe he didn't want to go down to South Beach and then turn into Miami Dolphins coach.
McDaniels.
Mike, yeah, just rolling in like he just went on a fucking drug run down to Colombia or something. So I'm happy about this. So we'll see what who he fills out, if Ethan Katz is going to stay or not, and if Grady Sizemore is going to have a role on the team or not. But I'm curious to see now who he brings in as his coaches. I didn't know if today they announced anything. I think I heard a couple of rumors, but I don't think they officially announced anything yet. So happy to see that Sox are actually doing something productive.
Johnny, good.
Yeah, I mean, looking at his pedigree throughout his whole coaching career, I mean, he's been surrounded by a lot of good, coaching minds. Joe Madden being one, Bruce Bochy, good pedigrees. I mean, he was around with Theo Epson as well too.
Yeah.
So that baseball mind. So, I like the hire versus just us getting like a Robert Ventura type of thing all over again, or somebody who's what's his name? I can't even think of his name anymore because he's not on the team anymore. But yeah, I like it. I think it's a good move, but it does right now. We could be all excited for this coach, but you got to get the players.
Yeah.
So I mean, right now, this is good on paper as far as coaching win, but I mean, what are you going to do in free agency? I mean, you want to win and you want to change that team. You got to start moving. You got to start getting pieces. You got to start getting good free agents, not just, fucking around and doing the same shit you've done for the past couple of years. So we'll see.
Thank you, Beef, pulled this comment because I saw that too on his picture with the full. I was like, dude, he's got to get rid of that. When
I made this slide, I purposely picked that picture because the other ones of him during the press conferences were of him with the faux hawk but he's got the faux hawk plus the lineup across the front of your forehead. And we just got my kid Landon a haircut, and they did that to him where it's like almost like they call it like the Hector cut or whatever. You look like half faux hawk, half cholo, and I'm like, that's a terrible haircut for a head coach.
Yeah, let's get him to Ryan Pohl's barber immediately.
The same guy that cuts the Flus's hair. We're gonna have an Eberflus situation all over again. We're gonna say glow up and then nothing.
I mean, but he at least he looks. I gotta say he looks decent, but no, I mean, like Flus looked like a fucking nerd being stuffed in the locker when he first came in here. I mean, he looks like he's got some swag to him. He just needs to change the faux hawk. And I'm not one of now listen, I'm not one to talk hairstyles and everything because my hair is thin and I keep my hair short all the time. But faux hawks on middle-aged men aren't.
If there's anyone that could get away with it, it's baseball coaches, right? You wear a hat like all summer long. So we're not gonna see the faux hawk. So this would be a problem if it was like a hockey coach or a basketball coach. But maybe Will Venable can get away with it.
So do you think he just goes buzz cut then?
Anything's better than the Hector faux hawk look. That thing was shocking when I saw that press conference. And it was like a Zoom press conference too. It was not even like 1080p. It was like 720 resolution, and it still looked terrible. I was like, holy shit. That thing stood up.
Beef's right. He's got to change that, and hopefully he will.
There's a lot of good
soon.
barbers in the Chicagoland area.
Yeah.
Next one is something you wanted to bring up, Jay, and I think it's near and dear to your heart, but Johnny too, because Johnny, you live in the city, so this one might affect Johnny more than any of us. But Mayor Johnson is proposing a 33% increase on Chicago's sin tax on beer, wine, and spirits. If it passes, the combined sin tax rates per gallon of alcohol in Chicago would be the second highest for spirits, the seventh highest for beer, and the second highest for wine in the country.
Yeah. So right now, like when I buy a normal bottle of alcohol, it's 11.5% sales tax. So you throw an extra 33% on there.
That's a whole lot.
That equates to like it, depending on like if you buy like a $100 bottle of alcohol, that equates like an extra like $7 in tax. So it's pretty high. It's a pretty substantial increase. So I mean, when I lived in Bridgeview, I was in Chicago, I was suburban Cook County, so I was still subject to like the Cook County tax rate. But I would drive to Kenwood and Homer Glen and get them Will County tax rate, and everything would be a lot cheaper. So I think you're going to see a lot more people, especially if you live in suburban Cook or close to suburban Cook. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if this is Chicago or Cook County. Usually they try to. They usually try to fuck everyone over, right? So
yeah, but this would be Chicago. This is definitely not Cook County.
Yeah,
but yeah, Johnny, I can't imagine what your Miller genuine drafts are going to cost.
I always buy cheap stuff, so I mean, I don't think this really affects me that much. But I mean, I got a secret plan. I mean, I would just probably go into the suburbs and just pick up the beer over there, or any like bourbon instead, like, and then just come back,
Yeah.
But then again, I'm wasting gas too. So I don't know.
Yeah, at that point, you're wasting gas.
Well, you said situation, but I always get like Old Styles and High Lifes, and I mean, if I get
Coors Banquets.
But if I get bourbon, it's usually when I go out, with you guys and stuff like that. So I feel like it's not really going to affect me too much. Maybe like the tequila part, or if I get some bourbon that I want, but yeah, I'm to me, I'm not too worried about it.
Right.
Yeah, it's going up from 11.5% to 15.3%. So you're talking almost like nearly 15% tax on alcohol sales now. Ridiculous.
Actually, the one thing I was thinking about is that bars are going to have to like change things around. So
that's games when we go buy beer.
Yeah, so it's probably gonna be like $20 for a beer now.
All right, last one is I mean, I don't know, we have to get too into the weeds on this, but Chicago Sky hired a new head coach. It's Tyler Marsh from the Las Vegas Aces. I know a lot was said about the firing of Teresa Witherspoon. People were kind of shocked that it happened. But I don't think, when you got two rookies and their development was more than questionable throughout the year, and her X's and O's was the thing that stood out to me. We actually talked to Aaron about it because I watched a good amount of Sky games this year. And just the in-game calling of plays and substitutions and rotations were pretty bad. So, yeah, all is up and up for the Sky. Any thoughts?
Yeah. No, I hope it works out. I mean, it was kind of shocking when they made the decision to move on after the season. So I hope it works out for them. Let's keep on building on the promising young season with the rookies. So
do we know where they are, like, as far as draft pick for they're coming up their draft? It's got to be.
Yeah, you got to figure I don't know about because trades. I think when they traded Marina Mayberry.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they actually ended up. I could be wrong. Now I'll be talking out of my ass. I thought they gave up a pick or they swapped picks. So if Aaron's in the comments, she could talk more about that. But yeah, I'm queuing up the ad, the Chickies ad, because I'm dreading the next topic.
Yep. The original Chickies Beef and Chickies Banquet is a proud sponsor of the BumCast. Are you trying to find a venue for a meeting or party? Allow Chickies to provide you with the at-home atmosphere without all the hassles and cleanup associated with hosting at your house. Chickies provides a blank slate for you and your party planner to work with. Customized menus are available upon request. Banquet Hall is located right next to Chickies Beef on Roosevelt Road in Hillside. They can host all types of events, including birthdays, showers, and even wedding receptions. Best of all, there is no rental fee. So call Brittany to plan your next event at 630-400-2876 and tell them the bum sent you. All right, it's time to talk about the... I don't even want the fucking word. The drudgeoning, the fucking just beat down that the Bears got at the hands of the Arizona Cardinals yesterday. They just got their ass kicked 29-9. Not a good look. Bears obviously we saw what happened when they blew that game against Washington last week. We thought they need to bounce back. They can't come out flat. They need to just go into Arizona. And I told you guys that they needed to just go in there and fucking put up, 28, 30 points on them and let the defense do their thing. And then the exact opposite happened. The defense gave up, nearly 30 points. James Conner just ran the fuck out of them, giving up the 56-yard. He didn't do it, but the 56-yard touchdown at the end of the first half was egregious. But I said it to you guys. A lot of mistakes, and we'll break it down. But my first reaction when I watched that game yesterday was that looked like a team that didn't want to play for their coach more. It looks like Flus lost the locker room after. That's the impression that they gave off, that they just didn't want to be there. They didn't care anymore. They were out of it. They were maybe still pissed off about the Tyreek Stevenson shit. But that just looks like a lost locker room to me, the way they played.
Yeah, like you mentioned, there was, and it was not just us, but everyone was talking about, there's only two ways you could go from a devastating loss against the Redskins: is you galvanize each other and you bounce back and you fight and you don't turn the season around, or it could be a catastrophic loss that you can never really recover from. And it seems like it's going in that direction, because even before the game even started, you heard a lot of the rumblings. You heard a lot of the dissension. It was Cole Kmet questioning a couple things. It was Jalen Johnson and DJ Moore talking to the score about different things. And I was like, holy shit. I had the tweet out there at noon. We were waiting for the game to start. And I said, I was doing mental gymnastics all week, and I was like, if they win and they win convincingly, season back on, wild card, here we come. And if they lose, Flus lost the locker room. I did that tongue in cheek, kind of joking around, pretending like a meatball fan would. And then you watch that game, and I'm like, oh no, I turned to you, Jay, and I'm like, oh yeah, Flus lost that locker room. The fact that throughout all the good and the bad of the last two seasons with Matt Eberflus, his defense played for him. His defense were the ones that were lockstep and thoroughly dominant. And I understand there's injuries, but the Arizona Cardinals are a decent team. I'm not even saying they're a good team, but there's no reason that game should have been over at halftime. And that game was over at halftime. The streak of not giving up 21 points, that was out the window by halftime. And they just never really recovered. They were never really in the game. We did the watch party. We talked about it. It felt like a funeral. We were, our cousin Joel, Johnny, a huge Bears fan, he was there, and he's like there's just nothing going right. And has a lot to do with the coach and the feel, and the Bears front office likes to talk about culture all the time, and a good positive culture, and it's the complete opposite. These guys are quitting on plays now on multiple times.
DJ Moore walked off.
So yeah, I saw people defending the DJ Moore thing, and I probably should have clipped the video just for people to get a little bit of context. But on one of the scrambles for Caleb Williams, DJ Moore steps out of bounds. So a lot of people were saying well, he's not, eligible to come back on. But I was like, if you reestablish yourself, you could go back into that play. And it just looked like and then some people said like, oh, he walked off because he was injured. I'm like, that seemed like more like he gave up on that play more than anything. But that's not just DJ Moore. It's a bunch of players like that. Like, I mean, the linebackers, for as much credit as we gave them, the beginning of the season, they've been playing bad the last 2 games. Like, they're just not tackling people. And the fact that they made James Conner look like Emmitt Smith or like they made him look dominant. And I'm like, this team is not that good. The Cardinals are not that good, but the Bears might be that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just think that it seemed like when that Washington game, that still was an ugly game for those whole first 3 quarters. And, obviously they came back. It seemed that they were all like, if they would have won that game, maybe, obviously maybe this would have been a different outcome on that Cardinals game. But I think the fact that, you can't keep Eberflus here for next season. You got to get a coach. There was like articles that were out about Ben Johnson wanting to come over to Chicago. I don't know if they fire Eberflus, that would be still a thing that he would be interested to come into Chicago. But it just seems that these guys are just done. Like it's over with them. I mean, there's no way that defense. Well, I mean, you didn't have Sweat, you didn't have Brisker, you didn't have Gordon, so you were down a couple players. I get that, but it shouldn't have been that bad. I mean, we have depth in that defense, and I just think that for the longest time that I've seen, the Bears defense under Eberflus, it's always been pretty good, decent. I mean, I think Arizona's defense was just as like they're bad. They're like ranked 27th or something like that.
20.
Right?
I think they're like right around middle 20s, 25th or something.
Yeah.
Like
So I mean, to tell me that you don't use Cole Kmet at all. You don't use any of these players. And he's doing to me, I think he's been doing very well this season when he is given the ball. And you sign him for what? You sign him for 4 years. Why you're not using him is like beyond me. And then if Eberflus goes, I mean, I would assume that I don't know if Shane Waldron would be gone too.
Out.
Like that's another thing too. Like these plays, some of this shit is like fucking Mark Trustman type of plays. It's just ridiculous. So I see in the distant future here. I think for the most part we're all agreeing that Eberflus is out.
Yeah,
yeah,
100%. He's going to be gone. I think also too one of the most egregious things, like you mentioned it, Johnny. Fucking nothing for Cole Kmet, 0 catches, and that's back-to-back weeks that he's been, not involved in the game at all. Roma Dunze had a good game, 5 receptions, 104 yards. But I think one of the most egregious things too of that game was the amount of drops that Keenan Allen and DJ Moore had. Keenan Allen just looks like a shell of himself, not that former Pro Bowl guy. And, you gave up draft capital to get him, but he was targeted 10 times and he only had 4 catches for 36 yards. And he had some bad drops on that too. Like Caleb put the ball on him and he just flat out, cement hand that one too. DJ Moore, 9 targets, 4 catches, 33 yards. Again, he had a couple drops too. And then, the optics of him walking off the field, whether injury or not, play's not over and he's just walking towards the bench. I mean, we talked about all these weapons they brought in, and like they're just. I think these moves that Poles made are just, we have to start questioning his decision making. Like we thought that Keenan Allen was gonna be the mentor for Rome, and help him like just take that next step in as a receiver. And I mean, I hope that's happening. I mean, obviously, when he does get targeted, he makes plays. 5 catches, 104 yards yesterday. Finally, good to see him getting involved in the offense. But you brought in Keenan Allen to be your route runner, to be your safety net, to be your end zone guy. And besides that, the Jacksonville game, he hasn't given you anything really. Been injured. I said it in the preseason show that I thought he was going to be the number 3 receiver on the Bears because of injury history and his age. And so far that's turning out to be true. But they didn't run the ball, I think, in my opinion, enough. 16 carries with DeAndre Swift. He got 51 yards out of that. But the way the line was getting blown up, maybe if you start trying to run the ball more, they run past a blitz, they can get a big gain, or you set up some nice play action because they're not just Caleb Williams got pressured by 16 different fucking Cardinals yesterday.
That's crazy.
You know how insane it is that 16 different players pressured him in one game. Now he got 6 sacks, and that's a lot, but it could have been a lot fucking more sacks if he wasn't like running for his life and trying to make plays, and even just him getting the ball away at sometimes was like, oh my, like throw it. Like he's trying to still make the play, which I can appreciate it, but sometimes it could be it's a lost cause at that point, especially when you have, guys who just can't get open, and when they do, they're dropping it. So it's a whole lot of just fucking bad. And I don't know how they fix this, because if the defense is giving up and they're giving up, if the defense is just, like I said, like done with Flus, they're not playing for him anymore. The Bears don't have the offensive identity to, like, at this point right now, with all the injuries on the O-line, to fight back and get back into games. We saw what happened in Washington, that they took them 3 fucking quarters to get 2 touchdowns. So they could have easily put up 3 touchdowns right in the beginning of the game. They did not. They kicked field goals, but they started pushing the ball on the field, and then just Arizona just kept on blitzing and blitzing and blitzing, and that was it.
That's the thing. The blueprint is out for this offense. If you send 5, you send 6, they have no answer for it. They didn't have any answers for it against Houston, and they haven't really had any answers for it the rest of the year. If you blitz Caleb Williams, they're not going to figure it out. And until you can stop it, it's a copycat league. It's going to keep happening until they figure it out. Jay, you mentioned like Keenan Allen being the safety blanket and like all the targets that him and DJ Moore had. Caleb Williams is not without fault. A lot of those targets, a lot of those throws are overthrows, underthrows. Like, he's just not getting the ball out and not as accurate as I thought he was going to be, especially the deep ball. And the other thing that was noticeable this game is because he's scrambling and playing hero ball, he's not taking the checkdowns. Because there was times where you could just dump it off to DeAndre Swift, you could dump it off to maybe Cole Kmet, and instead you scramble, you try to, throw something off balance, and it's just not working. A lot of that has to do with the offensive line. I get that. But I think we're at the point of the season where we could start questioning Caleb Williams and his accuracy, and just, I don't want to say development yet, because it's really, really early, but he could help himself out. And at some points he's not. But all of this goes back to Flus and Shane Waldron. We could talk about the O-line being hurt and the plug and play and all that stuff, but there's ways where you could scheme and kind of, help your quarterback out, and they're just not doing it.
No max protect at all. It was just straight lines to the quarterback. And sometimes you gotta put 2 tight ends. Sometimes you gotta put 2 running backs back there.
Yeah, but the thing about them is that they don't. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but the thing is that they don't adjust. They still are trying to play like catch up. I'm like, all the rest of the league is how do you mention? I'm going to piggyback off of what Peter was saying, is that they have a blueprint of how to play the Bears. And you would think that, at this time, the coaching staff, who you would think that would be smart enough to be like, us regular Joes are saying like, hey, if you put like, 2 tight ends, like, where you could have a lot more blocking, or adjust and do whatever you can to try to adjust it. So that way you're not getting beat every single time. 6 sacks in a game is a lot. And then you getting pressured off of 16 different people is a lot. There's no adjustment. Like, it's like that Washington game. There was 3 quarters where they were just like lost. They were just completely lost. And then they finally picked things up. And then Eberflus just, the coaching just lost it again. You know, he wasn't like worried about any of that stuff. And then this one, you're going into this Patriots game. If you can't beat the Patriots,
Yeah.
I want him fucking fired on the spot. Take him out. Get the fuck out of here. Because if you can't beat the Patriots, you don't deserve to be a coach in this league. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, look what happened with the Saints.
Yeah,
you know, they lost to the Panthers, and then Dave Allen immediately like, oh,
yeah,
you're out.
Dennis Allen.
Like, why can't we? Or Dennis Allen, sorry, not David. Yeah,
but Dennis Allen, he's 18 for 25 as a head coach. Matt Eberflus is 14 for 28. He's got a worse.
And he's never won on this. He's never won a Sunday road game.
He's got a worse record than Dennis Allen is right now. He's never won on the road on Sunday. You mentioned 0 for 18. Statistically, the worst road head coach ever, or close to ever in the history. We're getting to the point where we're talking about historical records like the White Sox are with Matt Eberflus on the road, which is a problem because we thought this team was possibly poised to get to the playoffs. And I don't want to be talking historical records when it comes to bad again. But yeah, the Bears historically they've never fired a coach midseason. And I know the McCaskies are all about tradition and doing things the right way. But if you want to send a message that we care about this franchise, it kind of turn things around. This would be the season because, like you mentioned, Jay, with all the weapons and they've been underperforming. And if you look at this roster, and I said it last week, if you look at this roster compared to some of the other rosters in the league that are currently in the playoffs, this team, as constructed, even with the porous offensive line that's just flat out bad, a good coach and a good offensive coach finds a way to score points and get this team to at least, 2-3 more wins against the Colts, even the Texans.
Maybe you don't blow the Colts game. You probably don't blow the Washington game. So yeah, I agree with you on that.
But it seems like if they are going to fire him, they're going to fire him at the end of the season, right? Like we're going to sound like a broken record the rest of the year.
Brian says they lost 7 reference to the Saints, not just the Panthers. No, the Panthers lost sunk him. I think if they didn't lose to the Panthers, he maybe gets another week. But when you lose to the worst team in football and to Bryce Young, yeah, it kind of seals your fate right there. Yeah, and then Luke Getsy gets fired, and it's just like you see the Raiders doing, you see the Saints doing it, and then you're just like, why can't the fucking Bears just have some balls for once? And I don't know if Poles is being like handicapped by the McCaskies, or if it's his fucking pride because he held on to Velus Jones for way too fucking long when he should have been cut 2 seasons ago. So I mean, I don't know if it's just like, well, I don't want to fire my first coach, that I hired. And I don't want to say I was wrong about the second. And now, granted that, Shane Waldron was Eberflus's guy, but like his hire. But I mean,
it was still Ryan Poles at the end of the day.
No, it was Ryan Poles has to sign, agree to it, right? So, I at this point, like, I need to hear more from him to hear a confidence and not just his ego talking about saying that like they think that what the pieces that they have are good enough. Like, I don't know right now if I necessarily trust him making another coaching decision. I'm going to say, obviously he fires Flus. He's not going to lose his job too. I think the way he's built the team so far, minus the offensive line, he does have I think more positives than negatives, but those negatives are very, very like shining, like just like Seinfeld, Kenny Roaster Chicken, right in your face.
Yeah.
Like, so it's tough. I don't know necessarily what's going to happen, but I'm starting to question Poles' decisions on some of this stuff.
Well, there was reports out there, even at the beginning of the season, or in the offseason, that for as much as we gave a lot of credit to Ryan Poles, Flus is his guy. They are lockstep in together, and maybe he was reluctant to, fire him at the end of the season. But we're just back at like that endless cycle of just like the Bears being a broken record and not doing things the right way when they could have. And people talk about Ben Johnson. Johnny, you mentioned it. Like, what worries me whatever the next hire is, I think we could all agree that Ben Johnson is the one that I think not just us, but a lot of franchises are targeting. There's reports that he wants to get paid heavy amounts of money. And I just don't know if the McCaskies are going to be able to do that. It's tough, especially if the rumors are true that they extended Flus to be able to sign Shane Waldron. Are they going to be wanting to pay two head coaches when one's not, one's not around?
Yeah, I mean, we know how notoriously frugal the McCaskies are with like stuff like that. So I don't think. I think at this point they have to realize what they have right now with Caleb, and they can't do the vicious cycle of what they always did with bring a quarterback in, fire the coach, new quarterback, fire. Right. It's like the whole vicious cycle that they do, and you had a chance to reset. We talked about this numerous times. Poles had a chance to reset everything when they had there's a whole good crop of head coaches available this cycle. They didn't want to get Harbaugh. Okay, fine, but I mean, like, not that his.
I think they tried to get Harbaugh. No. He just doesn't want to come, right?
No. I had this discussion. The relationship between Kevin Warren and Jim Harbaugh was never
they hate
each
work. Other.
Kevin Warren and Jim Harbaugh, it's oil and water. They fought like during his time at the Big Ten. That was just never going to happen. But that goes to not being able to put your like personal stuff aside. If Kevin Warren is the president of the Bears and he's the man he thinks he is, maybe you put your differences aside because Jim Harbaugh has his team in the playoffs right now. And Jim Harbaugh was always, as we know, he was won everywhere he went. But yeah, everybody was clamoring for Harbaugh. I just didn't think it was ever going to happen because of Kevin Warren. And the other, so we got someone in the comments saying about Mike Vrabel, and I got a list. So I just want like we could talk about this, later in the season or like in the off season. Just yes or no, quickly. Would you want them as the next Bears head coach? So we all agree Ben Johnson, yes, right? 1-1.
Yes, 100%.
Mike Vrabel.
I would say yes. I mean, he had a
I would say he'd be my second choice. Like if Ben Johnson got more money or he turned down the Bears.
Yeah. So, all right. What about Vrabel? If the problem is maybe you keep Shane Waldron?
No.
What if Mike Vrabel is the interim? Or if they fire Flus next week, bring in Vrabel, but then Vrabel is the coach going forward?
Yes, then I'm okay with that.
Next season, Cliff Kingsbury.
No.
Even though you see what's happening in Washington.
Yeah, but I see what he did with Arizona and Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins, and they had a chance to do something and they didn't.
That's true.
All right. Interim coach Lovie Smith.
Bring in Lovie home.
He was winning with the team.
Knowing that it's interim, knowing that it's an interim job.
Okay. If it's interim, I would say yes. If it's to hire him, no, because the thing that sank Lovie was, number one, he could never pick an offensive coordinator. Like that was his doing. Like, yes, he had good records because he had a good defense, but the majority of his offensive coordinators were shit, and he always had to have his hand in personnel decisions, and he just brought in wrong people, and I don't want that. Interim's fine. I don't want him back.
I saw it fluttering around the internet. But yeah, like the Lovie Smith thing is the same thing we deal with White Sox and bring Ozzie back or bring like all these, like it's Chicago sports has like a history of just like wanting what once was instead of looking forward to like, a good offensive coordinator from some of these teams. All right. Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, I think I would be okay with that.
Are we still on the intern part?
No. Next year as head coach, Lincoln Riley. I'm just looking at ties with Caleb and different things.
I would say I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah. And the last one I saw floating around was Ryan Day, and I like Ohio State's coach, and I was gonna say no.
No, I would.
What about Brian S saying go get the dude from Oregon?
We're gonna do spread offense all the time.
No,
I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
I don't. I wouldn't want him.
I think
no college coaches. I'm sorry.
The problem I have right now with how the Bears are currently constructed and our history with hiring first-time head coach, even Ben Johnson scares me. And I talk about all the time how I think Ben Johnson is the brains of the organization in Detroit. And as soon as he leaves, I think Dan Campbell is going to have to. He gets his team ready to play, but Ben Johnson is like the motor of that offense. But he's a first-time head coach. Same thing with Eberflus. Same thing with Matt Nagy. Like, there's something to be said about Mike Vrabel and being able to win in the NFL, and maybe Mike Vrabel against the personalities that are already in the NFC North. You got 3 really good head coaches in the NFC North, and maybe Vrabel is able to build his team up instead of breaking them down like Matt Eberflus does. But yeah, I think it's Ben Johnson or bust for now.
Isn't it fucking crazy that like 2 weeks ago we were 4-2, not even talking about this, and now we're talking about firing his ass, getting him out of here. That Washington game sucked the life out of us, and obviously the game yesterday was no better. But it's crazy how the past 2 weeks where we were 4-2. Best division. Now things have changed, and now we're talking about firing Eberflus.
And I want to be honest with you, Johnny, because I've been talking about the mental gymnastics. If they blow out the Patriots by 25 points and they somehow beat the Packers, I'm going to be the first one to say wild card back on. We figured it out. We righted the ship. Let's go. Because it's a week-to-week league. And, I mean, obviously, they won 3 in a row, and we were all feeling good, and they were against bad teams. We got another bad team coming up at home. And, for all of Matt Eberflus's warts, they've been very good at home. So if you get some players back, you beat up on the Patriots, and then somehow beat up on a Green Bay Packers team, which I think are well-coached. But their quarterback, Jordan Love, has a propensity to throw the ball around.
They're potentially playing Green Bay at a good time right now.
That's what I'm saying. He's leading the league in interceptions. We have a ball-hawking defense that, like, if you get healthy, maybe you cause a couple turnovers and you win a game. And now I'm back on I say it all the time. It's the Ralph Wiggum meme with the mailbox. When it's up, I'm happy. And when it's down, I'm sad. And that's just life as a Chicago Bears or Chicago sports fan.
Yeah. No, we'll see what happens next week against New England, but time's running out for the Bears to turn us around. Time's running out for Flus to do something. It actually was kind of weird hearing him take accountability at halftime for saying, "Oh, I called a pass protect instead of a run," and that one's on me. It's like, holy shit! Maybe he's actually getting the message finally. You're still a shitty coach, but at least you finally did something and came out on public and said, yeah. But then he was on ESPN 1000 this morning, and he gave all his typical coach speak.
Yeah, I listened to that interview too, and I'm like, it's just frustrating.
It just made me mad again. I was like, fuck this guy. So,
but I will give, and we did it last week, and I'll do it again. David Kaplan kind of puts his feet to the fire. He's at least pressuring him, because a lot of the press conferences at Hallis Hall, the guys are doing their job, but they're not really poking the bear, no pun intended. Kaplan has been the last 2 weeks at least. Yep. So that's the only reason I try to listen on Monday mornings.
Yeah. So, all right, we're going to wrap up our Bears talk there. Hopefully we got a Bears victory Monday next week. Yeah. Oh, good luck. All right. Let's pay a quick our bill before we get to some nonsense.
No.
Okay.
We don't have that ad. Remember we talked about switching out the t-shirts and switching out the things? It's somewhere. I can't find the file. I'm having one of those moments where
guys, we're live. We've done this. We've done this plenty of times.
Jason, if you want to read
it happens.
You want to read if you want to do it off the rip, you can.
I'm just gonna say,
don't have the ad.
Just support your local favorite Chicago sports podcast with some nonsense. Buy a couple 2 Tree shirts. We got some new stuff coming down. Like we got we've launched a new Blackhawks shirt. We got our Bears shirts. Just go check out shysportsfilms.bigcartel.com and help support all of them. All of the proceeds go into funding Whiskey at Comiskey's and our tailgates and events that we host throughout the year. So, yeah, that's all I got.
Attaboy. Good job. Good ad read. That's my bad. Hand up. That's on me.
All right. It's tweet police time. So this is where us, the Chicago Sports Bums, we critique tweets in the internet and basically say what's wrong with you and try to dissect them and tell if you're going to jail, if you're getting sentenced, are you getting life in prison? Are you getting a warning? Are you getting a slap on the wrist? Are you getting off scot-free? So we are going
community service, all kinds of.
So we're judge, jury, and executioner on this, and it's time to rate some tweets. So.
All right, so peek behind the curtain. Originally, we were bringing this segment back. We said we don't want to do this segment like too often. We'll keep it in the rotation. But we had one specific tweet that went super viral, and it was Maddie Spagnola's tweet. So we invited her on. She was going to be on for the tweet police for her loop tweet. And that was the first one. Unfortunately, she had to cancel, scheduling conflict. But I still kept it on. That could be the first one. 2 million impressions. The CTA was commenting on it. There was a bunch of huge accounts commenting on it. So for those listening on the podcast, I'll read it out. But it says, so rarely do I leave the loop, but tonight I decided to explore the Gold Coast. Let's just say I'm in love. And this thing went like firestorm. I was like, holy shit. And credit to Maddie. She has a propensity to be doing this, whether it's the Bears or the White Sox or just her, now living in the city and taking pictures. She's a great photographer. She takes all these like building pictures and they're all great. But when I saw this, I was like, holy moly. So just before we get into the other reactions to it, I just want your guys' initial reactions to it.
I didn't know anyone actually lived in the loop unless you like worked at a hospital or like a bank or something or like one of the big financial centers. I just thought like people went down there to go to work and then that was it. They went home. Maybe you go have lunch at the Bennigan's over there on Michigan.
They still got a Bennigan's there?
I don't know if it's still there or not.
Yeah, I don't think shot that Bennigan's is still open. I used to love that Bennigan's.
I know that was a good one.
Was it the Reuben? They had a Reuben there. That was delicious.
But yeah, I didn't know anyone actually lived in the loop. I thought people maybe would live more like River North or West Loop and stuff. I thought those were like I was surprised that people still live there. So like, okay, I guess.
Johnny, you're more of our city correspondent.
Yes.
You're in there.
Yes.
You're in the loop for work a bunch.
Yeah. I think people were overreacting with this tweet. Like she loves the city. I mean, she just moved here about 3 months ago. So she loves Chicago and she loves taking pictures. She loves, and that's good. A lot of people don't want to live in Chicago. People are going away from Chicago and she loves being here. She loves the Chicago sports and all that. So she's really big into it. I saw some people like tweeting out stuff. Most of them, they're probably from like fucking Naperville and shit. Like talking about, so just a lot of these people are probably go fuck yourself on that part.
Hey, I'm from Naperville-ish.
Nah, you're not Naperville.
I'm not talking about you, okay? I'm just saying in general, some of these people are probably from like Naperville. I'm sorry if I offended you with your neighbor.
So offended.
Yeah, you're
so offended.
No, I'm going to stop you, Johnny, only because Jay, you're not Naperville. You grew up on 55th and Trip. You moved out to the suburbs later in life, but this is not the same. No,
I'm Southside for 25 years, man.
The Lollapalooza crowd, or the people coming in from Naperville on the weekend.
No, I'm not. I wasn't born out there. I was born Pasture Park represent.
Yeah.
And from again to the people that were responding and stuff like that, they don't know that she moved here about 3 months. Like I think it was like about 3 months ago. I think.
Yeah.
But she's exploring the city. She's getting to know the city. So it's gonna take her a while to, find like all like the places to go to and stuff like that. Right now, she's like a tourist. That's basically what she is. Like, she doesn't know where to go. She doesn't know any of the good spots. Maybe this is something where we come in and we tell her, like, hey, you should probably go here. You go here, or check this place out. Whatever her vibe is. But I think a lot of people overreacted in this. So I think for the most part, it definitely blew up when I saw the CTA responding.
Yeah, when the CTA responded.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, this is like crazy. But
yeah,
people need to calm down. Like, I think this became so overblown when it really shouldn't have.
Yeah, and like we don't know Maddie all that well, like personally, but I mean, she's come to tailgates, and between White Sox Twitter and Bears Twitter, like you get a general idea. And a lot of people were accusing her of like engagement bait, or like like she was purposely doing something like that for the the clicks or whatever. And I'm like, I think she's just a genuine person, like you mentioned, excited, that you're living in the city. And when I was their age, we used to go out, Jason, we spend our weekends downtown and stuff like that. You're just excited to be there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I will say that one thing I saw, people were calling her the Loop girl, and I was like, oh man, the Loop's gonna sue her for copyright infringement.
If you saw on Wikipedia, they changed the Wikipedia title for the description of the Loop. It was the Maddie.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So even Wikipedia got changed. I'm telling you, it was crazy.
Wow.
So, all right. We got to hand out a sentence or no sentence, slap on the wrist, community service, nothing. I'll go first. I don't think there's no charge. I think there's no charge to the people. People responding.
Yes. No charge.
All right.
Yeah.
Next one. Which turns out to be Caleb Williams' dad. Originally, people were, kind of suspect about, is this really Caleb Williams' dad or not? Good friend of the program, Shane Reardon, actually did a little investigative journalism and found out that this is actually his burner, or maybe just his Twitter account. But he went after, allegedly, Matt Eberflus after last weekend's game with the hashtag accountability, hashtag real coach, when they showed the Commanders defensive coordinator taking accountability for his stuff. So with all the things that's been going on around the Bears within the last week, or, last two games, is this a problem that Caleb Williams' dad is, throwing Flus under the bus or not?
No, I don't. I think let the parents speak up and look. I mean, we all saw what the ball, like Lonzo's, what was Lonzo Ball's dad's name?
LeVar Ball.
Yeah, LeVar Ball. You all saw how he fucking just was over the top. And not granted, now he's not at that level, but let the parents, do their thing. I don't think this is like anything egregious. I think the only thing egregious was that he took it down. Maybe Caleb said take it down, but
take it easy.
It would have been like, yeah, but I say no charge on this one.
Yeah. He's just, he's just a frustrated dad. Like, his son's like, running around, getting sick tons of, and he's just doing what a father's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, and tell me when he's lying. Like, he doesn't, we talk about it. He doesn't, if Eberflus doesn't take any accountability, what kind of coach doesn't do that? That's why I think a lot of the players right now are fucking tired of this shit. Like, hey, what about you? How about you are the problem, not like fucking us. So I could see why, I'm glad he put it out there, and if he did take it down, it's probably because of, Caleb. I get that part, but I just think that, there should be no charge. In fact, we should give him money.
We could do like what is it, like when like like citizens arrest and then like the police give them like a plaque or like a good humanitarian award or good citizens award or something like that.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, next one. I got sent to me a couple times by a couple different people on Halloween. So last year, I did like the shitty and whenever I do Photoshop, it's usually on my phone and it's shitty Photoshop because I'm not spending time on the laptop or anything like that. But last year we did the Spirit Halloween stuff with like all the 4 bums and our costumes. This year I did. I stole it from my sister's idea. It was Goosebumps. I did the Goosebumps books and I put our names with like funny titles. And then the day of Halloween, the White Sox did something very similar. So people were like, is there a possibility that maybe the Sox stole our idea? Or were they just stealing other people's ideas like I did?
Well,
because we tweeted these out like a week before Halloween.
So I will say I've noted we all noticed that the Sox seem to get a new, like social media intern. Towards like September-ish, the tweets are getting a little more funny and more memey and more just entertaining. I will say that maybe that person who is their social media intern now might be an intern for us. Maybe
we got a little bit of
is moonlighting as a Sox intern. I don't know, or maybe this intern is a fan. Either way,
double agent.
I think
you're talking double agents.
Yeah, I'm either way. I'm saying that this is blatant ripoff of our ripoff that we did. So you can't rip a rip. Like that's just too obvious. So for me, this is a jail sentence for the Sox. It's copyright infringement. It's plagiarism. It's 6 months jail time.
Oh, 6 months. That's good. Johnny, what do you think? Did we get ripped off or did they rip off other people like we ripped off people?
Okay. So first question I'm going to ask, where did Christy get this from? Did she, is this something that it popped in her head and she did the design, or where did she get this idea?
I don't know. So my sister did the graphics for her running club. So shout out the Tortugas and shout out Casual Trails. So Casual Trails did this exact thing. They started teasing it as like a lead up to one of their races and stuff like that. For everyone that was running or whatever, she had like the same thing I did with Johnny and Dougie and Jason and everyone. And I saw that right away and I texted her. I'm like, this is an awesome idea. I'm going to steal it for the bums. And I was like, and she laughed and she's like, yeah, do it. So I don't know where she got it from. I don't think it was an original. Julie's saying that like the Steelers did it too. But the first place I saw it on the internet was Christy. And then like everyone else did it. So possible or not possible?
I mean, it's not for you. It's not really ripping it because you took it from your sister. So it's not really stealing. It's you're not going to steal from family members. It's just you share ideas as a family. So I'm not going to say that you ripped it off. It's not like you took it from someone else. But you know what? I'm gonna tack on a sentence, an additional sentence here. I'm gonna go consecutive sentences because they're gonna serve 6 months for plagiarism, and I'm throwing an extra 3 months on top of that because they didn't do the Jerry special. I mean, they put rain delay, but let's be honest, it's the Jerry special.
The Jerry special. You're right.
You didn't call it what it is. Additional 3 months.
All right, so I want to do. Go ahead, Johnny, and then I'll go.
So, I'm always going to defend the brand. Obviously, JC, you're talking about plagiarism. A lot of our logos are I take from.
That's what we do, baby.
Shh! Don't say the quiet part out loud.
It's kind of obvious. So I'm gonna just say suspension because we don't know if this was if this was just
could have been a
very large coincidence. Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with suspension. I'm not gonna throw any jail time. Just a slap on the wrist. So
that's what I was gonna do. Probation. It's gonna be probation because, like you mentioned, Jay, and how we've noticed, and I think Missy in the comments can notice, there's definitely something changed within the White Sox social media from like the middle of the season to the end of the season. It was like a noticeable difference. So we could do probation for the tweet police, but just let's just say we're watching you. I'm watching this social account closely because I'm habitually online and we're going to be noticing some trends. So probation is a good call. Yeah.
Yep.
Goddamn graphic designers raping all the same stuff. That's the name of the game, baby. All right. The next two
cool kids are doing it.
The next two tweet polices. I don't want to make it seem like a gotcha moment or like kangaroo court for each other, but they both have to be talked about. So the first one was this tweet. Missy's in the comments saying we're target people, and I clipped a video for people that don't know what we're talking about.
We're target people, and I got this pink drink that I don't even know what it's in there. Zoom.
We saw this. This is over the weekend. I retweeted it right away. It made me laugh so goddamn loud. But the fallout, I think people are starting to get tired of the Costco guys. Because who was it? Adam in Kansas City. He said boycott all of the bums.
No, that was Mike Huckleberry.
Oh, Huck. Huck from Kansas. Yeah. Huck from Kansas said it. And I said, agreed. I agree. Boycott the bums for this.
Yeah, I immediately handed down the judgment. I said automatic suspension for Johnny. This was an unauthorized, like cringe video that I can't defend. The suspension.
No, wait, hold on. I didn't put it on the bums account. This was a totally independent thing. This was something that Missy put it out there, and it just popped my head because I just talked about them like either last week or a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, you bummed them.
Bums. I bummed them. So I was just making fun of the whole thing. I'm tired of them as well too. I don't like seeing them. They do the same thing over and over again. So I just did this little thing. I wasn't even thinking about it. It was just a little bit of a joke. It was a one-time thing, and people were either took it as, oh, hey, it was funny, it was whatever, or people got offended by it. I don't know. Maybe I should have went to like Walgreens or Mariano's to do it. I don't know. Maybe it was the wrong store. I should have went to Venture, maybe I should have done that.
Omni,
or Woolworth.
I think you just got to keep running with it. Now you got to do like we're the Jewel guys. Like just keep doing it. Cheap Chicken Mondays.
So
Zoom.
Okay. So Missy said that she did. I will put that on there. Was that she did say that we probably should have went to the Jewels. We probably should have went over there.
You got to do it.
It would have been a more of a Chicago twist to it. Targets obviously everywhere, but I don't know. It just came up in my head, and I just started saying it because I was just fucking. I'm tired of these guys as well too. I mean, I'm with them. I am 100%. I'm tired of seeing these guys over and over everywhere. They're on Jimmy Fallon now, and I mean, it's just one thing after another.
Yeah, AEW. Yeah. Missy's saying, screw you guys. I think we're gassing my guy up. Dude, I love that you did content. Like, do more of them. It was awesome. I enjoyed it. I'm going to play it again because I enjoyed it so much.
We're target people, and I got this pink drink that I don't even know what it's in there. Zoom.
All right. So the next one, I'm sorry to say, is another Johnny thing. And this is something me and Jason have behind the scenes because we're the tweet police. This has been a slow and steady investigation. We all know your, obviously relationship with Missy. And we noticed something going back since, a couple, 2-3 months, Jay?
Yeah, I would say so.
And it's Johnny's use of the word girl. And I went back and searched anytime that Johnny says girl. And this is only the ones because sometimes you add a couple more U's and a couple more R's and a couple more L's. And the first time you saw it, I'm like, I've never seen Johnny say girl like that before. Jason texts me and he's like, is Missy tweeting under Johnny's like account or something? So
is she forgetting to switch back to her account? Is she tweeting under the Southside Bum? We need to know, did Missy just type the girl? Because there's a lot of tweets to Alexis too of like girl. Like,
yeah, a lot of U's, a lot of R's. It changes sometimes. So first we thought like, oh, maybe Missy's tweeting. But Johnny, is this now like Missy's saying? The girls taught you the vocab. This is you doing the girls.
Yeah, it's just something that I, talking to them and stuff like that. I mean, it's just like a funny thing that I do with them. So anytime it's anything with like, Missy, or if it's with Alexis, that's the only time I really do it.
I
so
noticed it with
there's
Alexis
a reason
too.
why I do it. It's because of anytime I'm talking to them or tweeting or whatever the case may be. It's just a thing that I do with it. It's not, like I said, it's a funny like inside joke, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Okay. All right.
We were obviously to you guys, you guys are texting back and forth about me, like if this is an issue.
It was only the one time. It was only the one time when you first used girl, and I was like, oh,
listen, girl. Okay, listen. All right. You need to know your role and shut your mouth. Okay.
Fair enough. I said I didn't want to make this like a gotcha moment, but you did two different, very specific things. They were like, "Oh."
When I saw the Earl, I thought I said like, did Missy just forget to switch accounts back? Did she take over John? Because I never seen you use girl either, so I thought maybe
all my tweets are all my tweets. I don't. She's not on my phone doing any of this stuff, or she's not on my account. This is all me. Like I said, it was just an inside joke with the girls, with Alexis and obviously you guys, know them. So, it's just like an inside thing. That's all.
All right. No charge. Yeah. I'm going no charge. We just want to get the bottom of it. Like we said, a little investigation between the tweet police.
Yeah. We just had to make sure that it was from you and it wasn't a hijacked.
This is a good point. B-Flow saying now HBIC is going to start using it now that he knows that it's okay. I could see that happening.
I will not use girl. I will not use cool.
Yeah.
KEWL.
Yeah. You've never used that, Jay?
No,
I'm gonna go back. I'll search your Twitter history. I'll just search
if I did use it, it was probably in a condescending or jest manner. I don't think I've ever used it in everyday lingo that wasn't being sarcastic.
Yeah. So here's the problem. I just went and I searched head bum in charge, but your history is shorter. I'm gonna go from the bums account and search cool. No tweets. Scot-free, Jay. Congratulations.
Thank you. I like to say I don't use that word. All right. With that, I think we're done with tweet police. No more tweets.
We're done with tweet police. We're ready to bum some people.
All right, let's put some people.
I think he's a bum. I think he's an absolute bum.
You call me a bum? My man, I take that with pride, with honor, that I'm a bum. I'm the king of the bums, baby.
Because you're training like a damn bum, you know that? Bum. A bum.
Bum. Bum. All right, let's get to our listener. What are bums and MVBs? First from Jeff Bartlett. Bum, those two Yankees fans during Game 4 of the World Series. Yeah, that was crazy. Just one guy's got him in an arm bar. The other guy's just ripping the ball out of the mitt. Like, fucking aggressive, man.
That was crazy. I don't know. You were tweeting about it live, right, Johnny? I saw it from you, and then I went back. Like, that was my dad called me because my dad is a casual baseball fan, but he loves playoff baseball, and like a lot of Mexicans are fan of the Dodgers because of Fernando Valenzuela. So he's not a full-on Dodgers fan, but he likes them. So he was rooting for the Dodgers. He saw it and he called me. He's like, "Did you see that?" And he was like, his words were, "They try to open that mint like a pistachio." And I'm like, yeah, that's a good way of saying that.
But did he say it the way in Spanish though?
Pistachio.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, dude, you can't be doing that.
No. Second bum, every media outlet trying to make those two Yankees fans look like heroes. I guess they were invited back in the game. There was a beat reporter who did a glowing expose on him.
That was Jesse Rogers.
Jesse Rogers. Yes.
Jesse Rogers Jesse Rogers does a lot of great work. He used to be the Blackhawks beat writer back in their championship run. I like Jesse Rogers a lot. And he got a lot of shit for, basically doing, like you mentioned, like a more positive, article on them. But also Barstool, especially the Yankee Barstool people in the New York office. They ran them through the car wash, praising them like they were freaking like Jesse Owens after the Olympics. Like those guys were sucking their dicks so hard.
Yeah, that's why
it's
it
just a
made me
bad
happy
look.
watching them cry every game.
Yeah. So yeah, bad luck. Those guys bums for sure.
All right, next up, King Ass MVB. Arizona weather must be nice, but it's not that bad here right now. It's not, super hot summer weather in Arizona, but it's still nice. Bub of the week: airports and the experience of flying in general these days. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
I don't mind flying though.
It depends, man. You catch like one bad line or one bad flight, it really sours your experience.
Yeah, that's true. Kick flip in threads. MVB, my wife, for sitting through another horrible Chicago Bears season. Yeah, anyone who does it. Bub of the week is loser at the bar yesterday for wearing a Lions jersey and Bears cap. You know what though? Maybe he's just trying to manifest Ben Johnson to the Bears.
I like that. I like that spin on it. I like that spin, Jay.
If you would have told me 5-10 years ago that I'd be fucking jonesing for the Lions offensive coordinator to be the next Bears head coach, I would have said just fucking curb stomp me right there, because that's I must be like just off my shit. But here we are, year of our Lord 2024, and I need Ben Johnson like I need air to breathe.
This is a tough look, right? The jersey with the hat, it makes no sense whatsoever. Like maybe he lost a bet. Maybe this is some sort of fantasy football punishment, because it really makes no sense why you would wear like two different division rivals. But my question to you guys was going to be, if you had to do it, say we go to Hooters or we have a night at Jack's place and somehow you lost a bet, or just in general, of all the division rivals for all major sports, whose jersey would you wear?
Maybe a Vikings Randy Moss.
That's a good answer. That's a really good answer.
Yeah, probably be somebody from the Vikings, too. Or what I probably would do, because I just thought he was a great running back when I was seeing him growing up, it was Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders? So you would be like this guy, Lions jersey, Bears hat. Yeah. I just asked that question. I don't think I have an answer. I don't know who I would want. It definitely wouldn't be Packers. It definitely, like, if we're doing all sports, maybe like like Albert Bell Cleveland jersey or something like that. Or
well, hold on, Peter. Hold on. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, you used to root for.
I don't think we could announce. I've never told this story. 200 episodes of the BumCast, and I don't think we're gonna start now. Yeah, that's a story for another time.
Chicken.
You know what? I'll tell that story. I'll tell that story with enough super chats. Maybe we'll tease it for the next BumCast. With a certain threshold. That's not a story we could just say for free. But I know where you were going with that, Juanito.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, next up. Joey P, MVB, me for approving my PTO. See, you're welcome, Joe. You put it in a timely manner, and you get approved. Bum of the week, the McCaskies for running their franchise into the ground. Bums. Yep, they all suck. Co-MVB, this plate. Yes, that looks delicioso. Hope you ate everything on that.
It looks fire. It looks like he's having a hell of a trip in Mexico. So can't wait to see what goodies he brings, because Sandy and Joey P are coming back strapped.
Yep. Aaron the intern, MVB, the hot dog cart, Fat Johnny's daughter, for magically showing up at the watch party and saving my life. We talked about earlier. She was the savior there. Bum of the week, teenagers all Halloween weekend, naughty ass kids.
I don't know if you saw this.
Much get off my lawn vibes.
Wait, did you see what happened? Or like her tweet? No. I don't know if it was on Twitter or Instagram. She, like many people, we did it while we, trick or treated around the neighborhood. when we weren't at home, I left a bucket out of candy and said, please take 1 or 2. Erin, I guess, was not at home, so she left the candy out. Someone, and she's got it on the Ring camera. Someone stole the actual bowl, her like salad
what
bowl
the
or something.
Oh, jeez.
So she got her bowl stolen.
Damn. Yeah, fuck them kids. Taco Gladiator, bum of the week, salty ramen thing. Yeah, that was like the dish at the party yesterday. I don't know what it was.
It was like a birria ramen, but
yes.
birria itself tends to be salty if not done right. And then ramen's just all sodium to begin with. So I don't know what Jerry was expecting. But yeah, it was salty.
And as we mentioned to you, shout out you for your bringing all your antennas.
We're starting a business, baby. We're going to different bars, setting up antennas.
Yep. Gordo, MVB. The Buzz were hosting the watch party at Jack's place yesterday. It was good to get out and see people. We thought he wasn't showing. It was great to see. He walked in, and we all gave Gordo a hug. It was good to see our guy.
The whole place erupted when he walked in because we did not, like you mentioned, we did not expect to see him. Like it was something like, holy shit. I joked. I was like, did you have to sign a waiver to be here? I know B-Flow quote tweeted, it says, everyone please protect Gordo or don't let anything happen to him. But yeah, it was good to see him. I was glad he got out and, he hung out, stayed for a while. So we got this. I got this back up there. We're going to keep showing it. But if you want to help Gordo out, you can donate anything you can. He's got a huge surgery coming up. He's actually got a couple, I think he's meeting with the doctor this week to schedule it. But yeah, the Venmo's out. It's on our Twitter. You could DM or for the Zelle.
Yeah, we've gotten some messages on. We got some messages on Facebook and in our Twitter as well about people asking for his Venmo or for his Zelle. So yes, thank you everyone who's reached out. We really appreciate it. I'm sure he appreciates it more than we do. So
yeah, and then the Sadistic Penguin Studios, they got a T-shirt where all the proceeds go to Gordo as well.
Yep. And Bubba, the Dodgers fan who blew off his hand with the firework. I saw the uncensored version of it. That thing was gnarly. Yeah,
Gordo sent me the video. I'm like, zero chance I'm showing that on the BumCast. But I was like, thank you for sharing, Gordo.
Also, that's why 1, you don't do fires when you're fucking drunk and going crazy partying, and number 2, just don't fuck with the M80s and whatever he was doing.
Yeah, no.
Keep it to the regular.
General.
Yeah. Missy, MVP, Jack's Place slots once again giving me the Bums event cheddar. Cashed out 500s last night. That sounds like a
huge win.
That sounds like Missy's gonna take that across the street and buy all the liquor from her local.
The liquor store across the street. Yeah, dude. $500. Shout out to Jack's Place. I think she's won a couple times there, and I forgot somebody else won there. But yeah, if you guys are going to Jack's Place, especially on the weekends for college football or NFL Sunday, their slot room is awesome. So it's paying out.
And bum all the Chicago sports.
Yeah, yep. That's an easy one.
Mailman Jack, MVB, most valuable burrito, this steak burr devoured from Los Olivos on 31st Street the other day. I love how they don't shy away from putting that behemoth on the griddle. That thing looks massive and tasty.
It looks badass.
Yeah. And Bum of the Week, the Arizona Hail. That was crazy watching the Hail in that game yesterday. Real quick, Peter, we got a late one when the show started from Jerry O'Sullivan. His Bum of the Week is the Bears.
Yep, that's a good one.
Yep. And MVB, the Will. I'm always going to say Venable.
Will Venable? Oh, Venable.
Yeah, it's yeah, I'm always going to, because I'm fucking stupid like that sometimes. Finally, something positive for the Sox. So
yeah, one tiny step in the right direction.
Yeah. All right, let's get to our bums and MVBs. Johnny, kick us off.
Yeah, so I actually thought about a bum while I was it's none of you guys, so don't worry. But I don't know if you saw this whole Drake and DeMar DeRozan thing.
Yeah,
where Drake was like staring down to DeMar DeRozan like he was gonna do something to him or just mean mugging him and saying all this stuff and saying that if there was ever if you ever put up a DeMar banner, I'll pull that thing down myself. And then DeRozan responds back saying he's gonna have a long way to climb. Tell him good luck. What, bro, Drake? I don't know what to say to him right now because it's still like lingering on, and it's gonna linger on for such a long time. But dude, you just I feel like he's not gonna come back at all. Like it's not gonna. He's when you got basketball players dissing you as well too. It was one thing with Kendrick, but now you're doing like DeRozan as well too. I mean, obviously DeRozan's from California and he was part of that video. So, yeah, just sit down, Drake, man.
DeMar's 100% going to get Kendrick to just go They Not Like Us for like 10 times in a row now. You can make him do a pop-up show just out of spite, but drop it 10 times in a row.
Yeah. And then I just got to do a quick one as well too. I do want to shout out Sarah and Cody and Avery. They were here Saturday helping me out. Brought a couch over. So got a nice couch here at the apartment. And spending time with my daughter. So it was a fun Saturday. So I got to shout out them for helping me out.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, Peter, you're up.
All right, 2 quick MVBs and 2 bums. I'll start with the MVBs. First, we talked about it earlier at the start of the show, but anyone who wished me a happy birthday, text, tweet, anything like that, we appreciate it. Obviously, you guys, the bums, and anyone that got me there's like a lot of nice things, whether it's Jay or Dougie or Aaron and everyone else. I appreciate it. Makes an old man feel loved. The other one, I would be remiss to thanks Jack's Place. Obviously, Jack's Place is always awesome with the watch parties or any live shows we did. I want to specifically single out Cindy, the bartender there, because Keith and Annie were out of town, and they knew they were going to be out of town. They let us know ahead of time before we scheduled the watch party. We're like, it could still go on. They trust us with the place, so thank you to them. But Cindy took the reins on everything. She booked the taco truck. She was the one that called the hot dog lady that saved everyone's life. And she was manning the bar. And it was an awesome time. Apple pie shots, tequila shots for the Blackhawks game and everything else. She's grown fond of the bum. She likes when we do the events. She likes whenever we're at Jack's Place. And we like when she's bartending. So, thank you so much to Cindy. She's been awesome from Jump Street. So I wanted to single her out because she is literally the best.
And Toys for Tots in the 22nd over there.
Yeah, so they're doing Toys for Tots on the 22nd. Cindy is actually the one, planning that as well. So I told her we'll help her, tweet and post things and get the word out for that as well. First bum, and it's topical. You don't realize it until you're older, I guess. But daylight savings really fucked me up. And people are like, oh, the extra hour of sleep, that's cool. But when you have kids, that extra hour doesn't matter. It messes their schedule up. They don't know that we gain an hour or whatever. And then I'm sitting there. I know it's just an hour, but it feels like time is moving so slower. To the point where I was like, it was 11 o'clock. And there was still no football. And I'm like, there should be football on right now. It feels like there should be football on. And then the sun's going down. And I explained it to my daughter because she asked how and why we do it. And I tried to explain it to her with the farmers and the government. And I was like, at the end of the day, we were all more confused than when we started. And I'm like, at this point, I understand the farmers did need a little extra daylight, but now everything's automated with the big ass harvesters and everything else. I think we could get away with not changing the clocks back. I think we enough. Just stop it.
Well, I think they were trying to push that. They were pushing that into law to change that.
I thought when we started this podcast, I thought that got ratified that we were going to stop with daylight savings. And then all of a sudden we just kept doing it. I don't know if it's tradition or I don't know. It's the only thing Jackie had to tweet out there. This country can't agree to do shit. I think it was Jackie or Celeste Spaghetti. The country is divided for anything, complains about everything. And we complain about everything. The fact that everyone just agrees to turn their clocks back and we're like, all right, we're all doing this. Just stop. And then my second bum of the week, because I teased it and I talked to you guys about it. for the Bums Happy Hour, you guys asked me like, oh, what are you gonna do for dinner? It's your birthday. We're like, oh, I think we're just gonna Grubhub some Hooters. So we finished the happy hour. Julie's like, what do you want? We ordered some chicken wings, some Hooters, waited an hour, got a text, food's delivered. When they send you a picture of where the food is, usually it's on the front porch or front door with the picture. The picture was black. It was just like a black screen. Like, oh, that's weird. We go outside, nothing. We're like, oh, what's going on? Julie's like, oh, maybe they went to the next door. Sometimes they get delivered to the neighbor's house or whatever. She went, nothing. She called, no answer, nothing. We're like, all right, whatever. We'll redo the order. That's not a problem. So we waited another hour, and then we get a call from the driver. And if Julie's in the comments, she could explain further. Hooters saying, and this is by no fault of Hooters, something was wrong with Grubhub where people were picking up orders and then they were like reordering again and again to the point where I think Hooters like, we're stopped doing Grubhub orders. You can't pick up any orders because everyone's getting fucked up. So the driver's like, I'm at Hooters. They're not giving me your food. I can't deliver anything because I have no food to get delivered. Needless to say, Julie went on a rampage, not only because it was mostly because it was my birthday and she just wanted to, do something nice. And I'm like, yeah, that's no big deal. So she talks to the people on the phone and I could hear her slowly getting more and more angry to the point where I'm in the living room. She's in the fireplace room. And I could see at one point she just snaps and she's like she does reviews like this for a living and stuff like that. And she goes, I'm online all the time and I have 10 million followers and I'm going to tweet about this. And immediately in my mind, I'm like, I like that she's getting aggressive, but she way overdid the account. 10 million followers. Portnoy doesn't have. Portnoy only has 5. Like Big Cat only has 1 million followers. Like if you're 10 million followers, you're like Selena Gomez or something. Like this is. I'm like I text her. I'm like, you overdid the followers. She could have gone away with 500,000, but 10 million. I'm like, she's a real celebrity. They're gonna Google Julie. Like who is this? Anyway, needless to say, they offered her credits for $15 credits for Grubhub. She's like, get the fuck out of here with that. Bum of the week, Grubhub. MVP, Julie, for defending my birthday and my dinner.
All right. I am going to close out the show. My first bum of the week is me. I don't like bumming myself, but I have to. You guys know I am a big Halloween guy, and I like the yards all set up. I try to go, scary with the decorations. I didn't make one kid cry this year. I feel like I'm losing my touch.
Is that your goal?
Yeah, my goal is to I gotta have one kid. I have to have one kid every year who cries or doesn't want to come up to the house, too scared to walk up to the door. I gotta be better. That's 100% on me. I need to be better and I need to put scarier props out there. So lesson learned. Took the L this year, but I'll bounce back better than ever next year.
Accountability. That's what Flus is lacking. That's what the Bears coaches are lacking. And I like that you're taking the initiative, Jason.
Yes. All right. 2 MVPs. Number 1, I'm MVPing my wife, Sarah. It's our 2-year anniversary tomorrow. So happy 2-year anniversary to us. We made it, baby. Yes. We went out for a nice, lovely dinner on Saturday. Hold on. As I'm trying to MVP my wife for her anniversary, she's telling me I'm down the driveway looking for. I was looking for trick or treaters to make sure I had to turn all the props on. Okay, that was making sure everything was on before people started showing up. And I'm trying to tell my wife how much I love her. She's throwing me under the bus there. But we went out for a nice, lovely dinner on Saturday. Went for some drinks at Bar Sotano afterwards. But happy 2-year anniversary to us. Love you, baby. So that she's my first MVP. My second MVP is my dog Max. And I'm not letting people know, but tomorrow she's going in for major surgery tomorrow. She's almost 11 years old, and I know she's gonna I gotta stay positive and know she's gonna be strong and pull through. But she's getting her spleen removed tomorrow, and you know, there's risk. There's risk. So MV being my dog Max, because I know she's gonna pull through, she's gonna make it, and she's gonna have a long recovery ahead of her. But yeah, I know she's a strong little pup. So MVP to her.
Max power.
Yeah, we're all pulling for her.
Yeah. So, all right. With that is our show. Thank you, everyone who liked, commented, subscribed, shared. We appreciate you all. And we got no events to promote. We got nothing.
Yeah,
we'll be back next month.
It's a slow season for the Bums, which is good. We could take a couple, 2-3 weeks, maybe a month or two. Slow season.
Yes. So with that, we'll be back next Monday. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Go vote. Do that.
Oh yes.
Go
Do
vote.
that.